So successful leaders, they aren't just born, they're mentored and guided. The Seattle Sports Commission is committed to helping the next generation of leaders. Their Women's Leadership Breakfast is an opportunity to learn from others. I caught up with Mari Horita from Seattle Kraken and Talia Walton, former UW basketball player and now Director of Athletics for the Renton School District.
This is a breakfast that the Seattle Sports Commission has been putting on for, I'm going to say about 8 years, and I'm not sure the exact amount of time, but it's a relatively new event, but it's a fantastic one. I am really humbled to participate in it because, as I mentioned, it's been going on for a while, and I've attended most of them, actually, and I've always found it super interesting and entertaining and inspiring. And the first one I went to actually was Ginny Gilder was one of the speakers on the panel, and she's, such an extraordinary everything. I mean, so talented, this incredible athlete and executive and leader. But what I remember most about that morning was the very personal story she shared about her life journey. I mean, the panel could have easily just been a list of how accomplished and successful these people were, but it was much more of a real conversation about life lessons, leadership, and personal growth, which is something we all think about. And again, is why I'm so excited to participate on this panel, along with my friend and colleague from the Seahawks, Karen Wilkins-Mickey, who I was actually just on a panel with today, Kiki Wolfkill from Microsoft, and Talia Walton from Renton School District.
Well, it sounds already like an incredible group of women. I've already spoken with Karen in a previous interview. So I am delighted that all of you strong women are coming together to talk about leadership. Can I ask really quickly, is this just for women in sports or can anyone attend?
Everyone should attend.
I love that. So the theme this year is leading with intention. Why is that so important to talk about?
In order to do things to a high level, you have to understand your why. And that's kind of, why I'm excited to share my story and hoping that it can, motivate or inspire other young women out there, women in general, as they're on their journey, through leadership, whether it be in their personal lives and work and school, however it may be. And being intentional is super important. It definitely guides the way how you do things and why you do things. And I think that's something that I try to keep with me through my daily work and ensuring that I'm serving the communities the best that I can and being really intentional about that. And like I mentioned, the how is very important.
I agree with everything she said. I think we're going to also talk about self-awareness in this breakfast and the role that plays in leadership, which I love because it's such an important trait of effective leaders, but I think it's not always highlighted enough. And the goal of this breakfast and this panel is really to create a dialogue that everyone in the audience can feel connected to, can relate to in some way, because all of us are and will really forever be on some stage of our own leadership development path.
Yes, absolutely. Why is a women's leadership breakfast such an important community event? What are the important takeaways?
For me personally, I attended this event last year when it was virtual, and I got to bring a group of girls from my nonprofit with me, and just the takeaway that they felt as young women still in high school, feeling so empowered. They spoke a lot about the visibility, being able to see people in positions that they would like to get to, whether or maybe not positions they want to get to, but understanding that it is possible to get there and to be able to see it, I think is super important. And I think that's going to be a huge takeaway for anyone that attends the event, not just women, but men as well, be able to understand that women are equally as talented and can be in these spaces, these leadership positions and spaces just as them and be as productive.
Everything she said is such a great point. Representation, seeing yourself somewhere. There's, part of me thinks, well, you shouldn't have to say women leadership. It's just leadership. These are just really powerful leaders who happen to be women. But not too long ago, we never had that space. And not too long ago, we never even made it on the dais with anyone else. So we're in that moment in time when we're really transitioning to just saying, okay, now women are leaders, but we're going to create that space. So as Talia pointed out, young women, young girls can really say, no, I have a place here. This is my future, and I will have a seat at the table.
I love that. I love that. This area really loves sports. Tell me about the mission of the Seattle Sports Commission.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're wanting to highlight all the great sports, not both teams and individual accomplishments that take place in this great city and King County, Washington as a whole. I think that's something that definitely brings people together, regardless of where you're from or what you're about. You come together for sports to cheer on the same teams, the Mariners, the Storms, the Huskies, even the Cougars, So I think that's sports definitely plays a huge role, not just in my life and others as well, but I think a community, it's a great way to bridge some gaps and bring people together and just keep people focused on a certain goal, which is unity. And I think that the Sports Commission is definitely doing a great job of highlighting all the great accomplishments of the sports in Seattle and how that comes together to keep us together as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. So the 9th annual Women's Leadership Breakfast will be October 14th at the Hyatt Regency in Seattle. Ticket information is on our website.